If you want to make serious improvements to your home, you're going to have to spend thousands of pounds on materials, right? Wrong. Each year, millions of tonnes of perfectly good materials end up being thrown away when they could quite easily be reused. Now, with the help of salvage expert Liam, we're going to show you how using recycled materials could save you a small fortune. Discarded building materials are all around us, from skips in the street to demolition sites and builders' yards. Now, I hate seeing stuff thrown away unnecessarily. It's bad for the environment and a complete waste of cash. Being the way I am, I've taken on a huge challenge just to prove the point. I'm going to help people with their dream builds by providing as many salvaged and hopefully free materials as possible. Now, the builds I'm going to be helping with are big. They range from extensions to loft conversions. There's a chance for me to save people some serious sums of money, but it's going to be very tough, so I need a couple of secret weapons. First is my salvage supremo, Liam Collins. He's a specialist at trawling around skips, demolition sites and factories, looking for any thrown-out building materials that could be reused.
This is everything we could wish for. It's like Christmas Day. It's brilliant.
Weapon number 2 is a large warehouse, where Liam can store all his finds. It's stacked with everything from tiles to taps and bricks to basins, which gives us a useful head start. Well, looking round, I have to say you've been a busy boy, Liam, because there's quite a collection building up here.
That's not even the half of it. I've got so much more to get on the road.
We're armed and ready for the challenge. So now on to today's build. We're off to Kent to meet house-proud couple Stella and Les Webb. Stella works in admin and Les is a bin man. And the couple live in this charming cottage on the outskirts of Maidstone. This must be the bell.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Stella. Hi, Stella.
Hi, Stella.
And Les, yeah? Oh, this is nice, isn't it?
Lovely.
Over the last 2 years, Stella and Les have ploughed all their savings into restoring the cottage. It's immaculate inside and out and has a glorious garden. But there is one blot on their otherwise perfect landscape. A rotting timber frame garage which Stella wants to turn into something a bit more inviting.
Well, what do you think then, Tom?
What do I think? What? I mean, with all due respect, you've got a fabulous house. It looks beautiful inside. Your front garden, drive's all beautifully landscaped and manicured. And I come out here and we've got this. What is it?
It's a garage. It's going to be a summer house.
It's going to be a summer house?
It is, yeah.
That's what I like. Optimism.
Yes.
How comes you haven't had a go at this yourself already, Les?
Because I'm a disaster with DIY.
I don't let him near.
You won't let him near?
No. He's all right with the chainsaw.
Well, I think a chainsaw might be an improvement, might be something you can improve this with, actually. You could certainly cut some windows in it, couldn't you? I don't really think, to be quite honest, this is very salvageable in its present form. Is it, Liam?
I don't think so. I think we'd have to knock this down completely and start from scratch.
Tell me what you would actually like within the building.
I'd love to have it all glass at the front and a lot of glass at the side, so you get the best of both.
So when we got the grandchildren up here, we can see what they're up to.
Grandchildren? You've got grandchildren?
Yes.
Oh, really? You don't look old enough to have grandchildren.
Thank you.
Where's my wallet?
That's cost you a score, that has, I'm telling you.
You're cheap then.
Stella and Les want a summer house so they can make the most of the garden with their grandkids. They want the new building to be timber-clad with nice big windows and a roof that suits their rural surroundings. Inside, they want the space to be one main room with a small bathroom at the back. To save money, the structure will be the same size as the current garage, so the existing foundations can be used. To build their dream summer house, Stella and Les have employed local builders Mick Shepherd and Harvard Neary. But will they be up for using recycled materials? How do you two feel about recycling and repurposing? You're laughing.
No, I'm not.
How do you genuinely feel about that, about the whole idea of the project?
I've got no problem with it, providing you get enough of it so it all matches and looks nice at the end.
See, I have reservations being a contractor, same as you guys, is say you want 100 square foot or something and you can only get 90 foot. What do? Do you make the building shorter or what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you see,
that is the
you must
reservation.
take this attitude, right? And this is how it is. The glass must appear to be half full rather than half empty. Just a subtle difference, and then you can make it work. Well, Liam and I will certainly need our glasses to be half full because we've got a huge task ahead. For this summer house, we've got to find 5 types of timber, roofing, insulation, flooring, doors and windows. And all told, that's 8 grand's worth of gear. Mick and Harvard reckon the build will take 5 weeks as long as we keep them fed with materials. The first thing we'll need is timber. So it's back to the warehouse to see what we've got.
I've got a few pieces over here, do you want to check? So you can see there's a few bits of 4x2 old joist work there.
Yeah, joists and rafters and some door frames, linings, a bit of flooring.
Yeah.
The only problem I have about using second-hand timber, there's a couple of points. One, if they've got old fixings like nails or screws in and you're trying to remachine it or cut it, you're going to damage the tools.
Sure.
But the real problem is, and this is a perfect example, if we just take this piece out, and sometimes you can't see it, that's full of worm, right? As I bang it, you can see all the worm dust coming out, right?
That's really bad, isn't it?
Believe it or not, people pay more money in certain circumstances for timber that's got woodworm in it than timber that hasn't, because they make a feature of it. But structural timbers should really be stress graded and pressure treated to prevent rot. So it's safest to buy new. And for Stella and Leslie's summer house, that means spending 400 quid on 4x2 for the basic framework. But that doesn't mean we can't do any timber recycling. What we should do now is see what else we need to do. Mick and Harvard need 600 quid's worth of plywood to line the roof and walls, and another 600 quid's worth of shiplap, a type of timber planking used for exterior cladding. I've sent Liam off to trawl through some skips in search of the plywood. But remember, if you want to take something from a skip, make sure you ask the owner first. Back on site, I've got a plan for sourcing the shiplap planking.
All right, mate, all right.
Yeah, good to see you. You're all right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's quite big. Stella and Leslie's existing garage is clad in shiplap. And although some of it's rotten, some bits may be reusable. We'll only know for sure once the garage is pulled down. But to save on labour costs, DIY disaster Les wants to dismantle the garage himself.
Yep.
Right. So what tools you got?
None. I don't do DIY.
Well, how are you going to take it? How are we going to work on this if you ain't got any tools?
Well, I can have a chat with my neighbour. He's got plenty of tools.
See what he's got.
See what he's got then. Won't be a minute.
Fortunately, Leslie's neighbour comes to the rescue. You got another ladder?
No.
Someone has to hold the nut the other side.
Oh, I've got some step ladders.
Have you?
Yeah.
I just asked you if you had another ladder. You said no.
Well, that's a ladder to me. You didn't say step ladders, did you?
Do you want to have a look and see if there's a nut, a nut the other side?
Yeah, it's just turning, Tom.
Is it a nut on the other side?
Yeah.
I just hope this ain't a sign of things to come. We're in Kent, helping Stella and Les Webb with the build of their dream summer house. It's a 5-week job that needs £8,000 worth of materials, and we're trying to salvage as many of them for free as we can. I've set Liam, my salvage specialist, the task of finding 600 quid's worth of plywood. He needs thick ply for the walls and thin ply for the roof, and he started his search at our warehouse.
The boys at Stella and Les have asked for some 12mm ply, and I do have that. I've got about 5 sheets, which is exactly what they need for the roof. But unfortunately, they need about 15 sheets, 24mm as well. I have no idea where I'm going to find that. But anyway, I'll make some phone calls and see if I get lucky.
On site, I'm helping Les dismantle his existing garage, and we're hoping to salvage some of the 600 quid's worth of shiplet planking we need for the summer house. Trouble is, Les is a self-confessed DIY disaster. You all right? You in position?
No. I've got to shift all this wood.
No, you can get to it without that, Les. You've got it. Is it off?
Hold on, Top. Go on.
Eventually, with the roof off, we can start removing the shiplet cladding to see how much can be salvaged. Well, actually, surprisingly enough, this timber is not too bad. Certainly is definitely reusable because it's a lot sounder than I thought. But I suppose the further down we get, the less likelihood that it's going to be salvageable. I mean, that's evident with a few rotten-looking bits down there. Every single piece we salvage is a few pounds saved, provided we get them off intact. Hold on. Hold on. Whoa, easy. See? Less brawn sometimes. It's also important that Les stores the shiplet properly, so it can be reused. What I would suggest you do, you get a couple of battens like that, lay them on the floor, and then stack it up. Let the wind, so leave both ends open, and then get some plastic and cut it so it goes over the top and down the sides, but it allows the air through either end. When you want to use it, because it's dry and it's air dried, it's easy to use.
We have to be treated?
No. You could take it to South End for the day, but...
All right.
You know. Sorry, Les, I can't help myself. Now, up the road in Bromley, Liam's chasing up a potential lead for the remaining plywood.
Jay.
Oh, hi.
How you doing?
Mr. Spoke earlier on the
good to see you.
Hi, pleased to meet you.
The Bromley Wood Recycling Centre collect unwanted timber and then sell it on. But not everything they collect can be sold.
The wood that is damaged or has got paint on that we can't sell will go to waste transfer, and that's made into sawdust and MDF.
And out back, the recycling centre has a garage full of sheets of paint-covered plywood.
Wow. I've never seen so much ply piled up in such a small space. This is incredible. I mean, what have we got here? We've got maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. There's at least 200 sheets of 24mm ply here. I can't believe it. OK, yeah, that one's a little bit mouldy, but maybe we can clean that up. I'm not sure, but let's have a look. OK, we've got another piece in here that's a little bit damaged. I would rather not use that. But that piece is fine. That piece is fine. That piece is fine. I'm guessing that all these other pieces are OK, going by these pieces here. I can't believe these are so expensive. I mean, if you think about an ordinary piece of plywood, 4x8 is probably about 35, 40 quid. Something like this can be at 65, 70 quid.
The plywood came from a building site where it had been used as hoarding. It may look a bit rough, but it's really good stuff, and by taking it off their hands for free, we've saved the recycling centre the cost of sending it to the chipper. More to the point, we've now got all the plywood we need to beef up the structure, and we've saved Stella and Les 600 quid. Les is trying to save yet more money by demolishing the rest of the garage himself. Maybe some things should be left to the professionals. And remember, wear the right safety gear if you're going to do this kind of thing. With the structure down, we can get a proper look at the concrete base underneath. Stella and Les want to save cash by reusing it for the summer house. But there's a problem. It's all over the place, you know. It's not very well finished. But my main concern is the fact that there are cracks going right the way across here. And what that indicates that the back of this is broken. And really, as always, with any building, you want a good foundation structure in to ensure that you get some longevity out of the building. Removing the old base, digging new foundations and pouring in a lorry load of concrete could add $1,000 to the cost of the build. But I have a cunning plan. There is a way around it, and that might be to go over the top. So you've got to break this down like hardcore and take out this rubbish all round, and you could then probably put a new shutter down there and one on the other side wherever you want it, and then recast a new concrete floor over the top of it. That would at least then save you having to pay to take this up and get rid of it. So maybe Les can break this up but leave it in situ, and you can do all that and you'll have a new floor that's going to cost you not as much as if you rip all this out. There are two advantages to my cunning plan. First, we'll be able to make the summer house bigger, and second, we won't need so much concrete. What you'll need to get is some boards for the shuttering for the new base.
Oh, that's pretty easy. Yeah, that's not a problem.
Lovely.
I'll see you later.
Good man. All Liam needs to find are some reasonably straight planks of wood to make up a shutter framework for the concrete to be poured into. In the meantime, the old base needs to be smashed into hardcore, so I need someone with a certain... you know what I mean.
The guys have asked me to pick up some ply for some shuttering. And I thought, instead of running around all the skips trying to find little bits of broken up ply, why not approach a scaffolding company? I thought they're bound to have some long bits of timber they don't need. They're always throwing them out all the time.
And it looks like he's right.
Basically, they're a bit too old now for us to use. I mean, they're a bit weak. You fall through them or anything like that. So we're just going to chop them up, not use them anymore. So
because what we need these for is a bit of shuttering.
Yeah.
We're doing some foundation work, and we need to, you know, shore up the edges, and these will be perfect.
They're absolutely fine, you know what I mean, for shuttering and that, but
lovely.
Just no good for us.
I'll take these on board then, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. Give me a hand.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Brilliant. Cheers, man.
Stella and Les's builders, Mick and Harvard, used the planks to make up a shutter framework that's actually about 50% bigger than the old base. Then it's time for concrete. Once mixed, concrete only stays usable for a couple of hours, so there's no real way it can be recycled. Fortunately, Stella and Les only need 360 quid's worth, and with a 30 quid coating of damp-proof paint, my super cheap base is complete. I think actually it might turn out to be a blessing in disguise, because now we're not restricted with the size of the project, and I think this could be the making of what would be a rather moderate, modest build to something quite sensational. We're a week into Stella and Les's build, and the structural timber has arrived on site, which means Mick and Harvard can start building the basic framework with a little help from yours truly. A lot of the structure has been actually erected, so we're now making up some what we call A-frames, if you like. That's the two rafters, and what we call a piece that connects the two is called a collar, and that's bolted together. That's to stop the building spreading. And they're going to be bird's mouthed as well, and that means there's a notch cut out of them that anchors them in and holds the sidewalls together all in one go. With the basic structure in place, Stella can start to visualise her summer house.
It looks really good now that the actual framework is up. You can actually see the size and you see it taking shape, and I'm really pleased with the shape it is now. I'm glad that we had to have that base renewed.
But I've spotted an opportunity to make the summer house even better. You could put a sort of a nice decking walkway along here, so the kids will have somewhere to run up and down, and
That's lovely.
It's got the material, so that would all be added value for free.
Really nice finish.
Well, you know what you could do? You could actually move in here and sell the house. You know?
Good idea.
Or if Les plays up, you'd be quite justified in moving him out here on his own, wouldn't you?
No, I'll move out here.
Oh, you'll move out here? You'll move into a new building?
Yeah.
Well, let's not get carried away just yet, because we've still got thousands of pounds worth of materials to find, including roof tiles, insulation and flooring. But the next task for my materials genie Liam is doors and windows. Right, Mr. Alibaba, I've got a list here for you, and these are ingredients that we need for the build, and we need them now.
OK.
Right, first off, a set of French doors and frame, glazed.
Oh, my God.
Then we need a big picture window, again, glazed. And we need a second big window with an open casement for the back, again, glazed. And then we need a Velux roof window, again, glazed.
Oh my God.
And all that comes to a minimum of at least 2,500 quid.
Oh, so no pressure then.
No, so you sling your hook and don't come back here until you've got all these things for me.
Okay, I'll go to the warehouse, see what I've got.
Off you go, and hurry up. Until Mick and Harvard know the size of the doors and windows, they can't finish building the structure. But 2.5 grand's worth of glass is going to be very difficult to find for free. We're in the Kent countryside trying to help Stella and Les build their dream summer house, using as many free materials as possible. It's week 3 of the build, and so far we've salvaged 600 quid's worth of plywood and come up with a budget price concrete base. But now we're facing our biggest challenge of the build. We need to find 2.5 grand's worth of doors and windows, and Salvage Supremo Liam is starting the search at our warehouse.
Now what we have here, we actually have a very nice example of a French door. It's actually in pretty good condition. Now I'm not entirely sure what Stella and Les are looking for, but I'm hoping that they'll like this. I mean, it's not in bad condition, it's okay. You know, even the lock works. A little bit of a tidy up, bit of a clean up. You know, it's a workable door, it's okay.
I think they're more than okay. And these contemporary glass doors he's found aren't bad either. They came from a house clearance in West London.
These are amazing slabs of glass. Now, I think Stella and Les will be really ecstatic about these. Well, I hope anyway.
The only downside of those doors is that stood upright, they're over 3 metres tall. That's 10 foot in old money. But I have another cunning plan that involves turning them on their side. Essentially what they are is a pair of toughened glass doors, and they are absolutely fabulous. But finding an opening for them might be difficult.
Yeah, we could
finding an opening for them. But we could make a frame that could go into the summer house,
yeah,
and have this as a panoramic window overlooking the paddock here, you know, the
sounds
field.
lovely.
Stella seems sold on the idea. So now all we need to do is convince Harvard and Mick to think a bit horizontally. As Liam quite rightly says, this is you know, a great bit of material. So it's a shame to really put it into a landfill site. You've really got to get your thinking caps on and make this work.
Yeah, you've got to think alternatively.
And I'll tell you what I'll do, just to make sure that this will work for you, I'll buy the first round. And I'm sure that's going to get your thinking caps working perfectly.
Well, they fit now.
Oh, see? Just a mere mention of it, problem solved.
Lovely.
Job done. Now I need to see if Stella likes the French doors. I mean, what do you think of that?
I actually really like them.
You do?
I do,
Oh,
yes.
great. I mean, these are what we call crittles, and they're my favourite window, actually. In my house, I've got 2 pairs mirroring each other. They're crittles. They're made exactly in the same way.
In the same way.
I mean, they're so strong, and they work, to me, they work on every front. I mean, this is all in excellent condition, so it only wants a very light rub down. And make sure you don't scratch the glass with the paper. Don't use heat, really, because it'll crack all the glass, and then you'll have ruined the doors. and you undercoat it and top coat it, and they'll be like new. Those doors would have cost 1,500 quid new, and all they need is a bit of TLC from Stella. Next on our doors and windows list is a roof light. Liam's been on the blower to a few demolition firms, and he's heard about a flat that's being gutted from top to bottom.
So we're doing my usual phone calls and emailing. We've come up with this amazing demolition job. And the great thing about it is that we can take absolutely everything from it. They're just going to leave the facade and they're going to destroy the whole building.
The team in here are ripping out everything from kitchens to carpets, and it's all headed for the skip. If Liam's prepared to get his hands dirty, there's plenty for the taking. And on the top floor, he strikes gold. An almost new roof light that's in perfect condition.
It's absolutely pristine condition. I mean, it really is absolutely lovely. Not a single scratch. Not yet, anyway. There you go, one Velux window frame in perfectly good condition.
The roof light is another great saving for Stella and Les. So, I mean, this is about a 300 quid piece of kit, but that would normally include the flashing, but you can buy the flashing kits on their own for about 25 quid. We seem to be making good progress in our search for doors and windows. But then, Stella discovers a problem with the Crittall French doors.
Got the nitrum all ready to try and get that
Strip
paint
all
off
the brass bolts off, yeah.
Yeah, and then I found a hole.
Well, that is a bit of a hole. The old mice have been chewing away there for a time. That's really beyond, beyond help now. I don't think this would be any good
It's not worth
except
spending
scrap.
any more time on it. No.
No, I've got to get on the phone because we're really going to have to get our skates on there to try and find a replacement for this.
Yeah.
Hello, Lip. It's me, Tom, your favourite builder, yes. We have a slight problem. Yeah, these French doors, the Crittall ones, are not going to go. No, they're not going to work.
Basically, I want some stuff.
It's straight back on the phone for Liam, and after the success of the roof light, he's trying out more demolition firms.
Yeah, but the thing is, I've got to have these specific dimensions, because if I don't, it's just not going to work.
On site, the plywood cladding is almost finished, and Harvard and Mick really need those doors now. The guys want to get on with the building, and they can't unless they know the dimensions. And we don't know the dimensions unless Liam tells us what he's got. Come on, Liam.
What I've done is I've called up a friend of mine who's developing a property, and he's ripped out some PVC windows and doors, and he said that we can come down and have a look and see if they're any good.
Surrey Home Developments are refurbishing this house and have ripped out a load of unwanted doors and windows. So it's a good job Liam's come along to save them from the landfill.
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, very good. How are you?
Good to see you. That's in pretty good nick, isn't it?
They are. They're almost new.
Beautiful, mate. And it's got all the keys as well.
Yep, we saved those.
Lovely. I don't suppose it's got any side panels with it, has it?
Well, these are adaptable. We can put the actual window beside the door.
So we can just take the whole lot?
Yep.
That's lovely.
That's a really good find. The French door set would have cost about £2,000 new.
What do you think?
I think that would grow great, actually. Liam phoned ahead with the dimensions of the doors, so in theory, they should slot straight into place.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, like a glove. There's just one small problem. Still catching a bit.
We can adjust that. I'll get them things out and we'll adjust that. We'll go and get the old wassets out.
You go and get the old wassets out, and then we'll do a wasset with a woozy and a wowsy. Because these have been ripped out of a building, the building may well have twisted, or they may have, when they was installed, twisted them slightly to suit the building. And that's the problem now. To get this to work, it has to be plumb and square, which we've managed to do. But then this one, running alongside it, as you can see, there's not a parallel line. There's a bit of too much of a gap at the top. But if we close that gap up, then the doors won't work. So it's all a bit of a compromise, isn't it?
Yep.
Once in, though, they look superb. I have to say, I think you've done yourself a treat here, son.
Cheers,
I think you made a good job of that.
Appreciate it.
This 300 quid UPVC window is another of Liam's demolition finds, and it's perfect for the back of the summer house. It's nice, it's in good nick really, and it's sort of low maintenance. That'd be ideal for what you want, and it's obviously ready for a good clean, and that'll be your job, I presume.
Yeah, thanks.
So all that's left to fit is that lovely bit of panoramic window.
I just think it's going to be too big, too long to actually go in with the rest of the building.
But I thought you liked this when we first brought it
Well, I
over.
kind of liked it because I liked the fact that it was big and a lot of light coming in, but I'm just not sure it's going to be the right thing.
You're going to be disappointed, aren't you?
I am a little bit, to be honest with you. It's a real shame. I was very excited, you know, because when we first talked about the fact that you wanted open space to look out of the window.
I know, yeah, I did.
And to find that was just, you know, so perfect.
What else have you got down the lockup?
Well, I haven't got anything at the lockup, and I've run out of all demolition options, unfortunately, so it's going to be a little bit tricky.
Sorry about that.
Don't
Well,
worry,
what
it's
you
fine.
could do, what you could do is try ringing around some of the local companies here, the window companies, and see if they've got any damaged ones or you know, missed sizes.
Yeah, that's a good idea, yeah.
Liam's on the blower to some local double glazing firms who may have surplus or cosmetically damaged windows.
No. OK, mate. Cheers. Listen, my name's Liam.
Trouble is, there are hundreds of window firms around, so Liam's got a lot of calls to make. While Mick and Harvard wait for that last window, they're getting on with other aspects of the build, like insulation. Les, Stella, come and join me in my lounge. Yeah? Sit down. This cavity rock insulation, we had a right result with this because the firm that makes it are rebranding. So we've managed to get all this for free.
That's great.
Right. So it'll be nice and warm in the winter and cool in the summer. And it's comfy, isn't it?
It is comfy.
The insulation is another 400 quid saving and means that so far we've slashed £3,500 from the cost of this build. Yep. But there are still some expensive materials like roofing and flooring to find. And of course, Liam's #1 priority is that large window for the side of the summer house.
So I'm just looking for stuff you want to chuck out. You have absolutely no use for it whatsoever. You've only got
But Liam's getting nowhere. And again, Mick and Harvard need to know dimensions so they can continue with the build.
All right, mate. OK, cheers. Bye.
It's week 4 of Stella and Leslie's summer house build, and we've reached a crucial point. The structure's almost complete, but it can't be finished until salvage guru Liam sources the final window. He's been phoning double glazing firms left, right and centre, and just as he was about to give up, it seems he may have had a result.
There you go, there it is.
This one?
Yeah.
So how did you get hold of this?
I rang around a few local companies
Yeah.
and I came up with this. They had quite a few windows line up back in what they call the graveyard. And basically all I do is just come along and say, can I have it? And they said, yes, you can, for absolutely nothing.
You didn't have to pay?
Not a bean.
Oh, that's out of this world. You're a genius.
Cheers, mate.
The window was made to order, but mismeasured, so it can't be sold on. What a result. With the doors and windows fitted, we now need our roof covering. Stella wants something that looks nice and rustic, but we can't have anything that's too heavy. It's only a timber frame building, so we want something really lightweight.
Slates?
Well, they're not really lightweight. Shingles, you know those asphalt shingles, they come up in some nice shapes and nice colours. Maybe you could find them, and they're lightweight.
Right, OK.
So you're happy, yeah?
I'm happy,
You
yeah.
understand the challenge?
I do, I know the challenge.
If you come back with concrete tiles, I'll bury you under them. I mean it.
See you later.
In the meantime, Mick and Harvard are laying the waterproof membrane which sits underneath the roof covering. The membrane was left over from another roofing job and will make sure the summer house stays dry. Good job too. Well, as you can see, we have lots of rain, and I'm glad we got that roof on with the membrane on. We've got somewhere dry to stay out the rain. While rain stops play at the build, Liam's had a brainwave about roofing.
I've been thinking about Stella and Les's roof, and I think I've come up with a solution.
He's on his way to a company that makes roof tiles from thin pieces of lightweight cedar wood. He's been told over the phone that they have boxes of damaged stock kicking around their yard.
John, hi. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to speak to you.
How's it going?
Very good, very good. These are the shingles. These are a few of the old damaged ones we found around the yard you were after. Okay. In the hundreds of bundles we handle, we get a few damaged ones, we get a packaging break, we get the forklifts catch the corners occasionally, and then we have some lower grade ones.
Okay,
which can have a defect, so there's a few of those as well. You need about 13 or 14 bundles. So we found half of it in the old yard sweep.
Really?
And we can make up with a few of the low grade ones.
What, all these here?
Yeah.
Oh my word. John, you have really saved us a massive problem.
John lets us have the damaged stock for free and the lower grade tiles for less than half price, which means we get £500 worth of roofing for just 100 quid. And Liam comes up smelling of... Have a sniff of that.
Yeah, it's lovely. You can smell it.
Well, you don't have to...
Nice. Cedar, isn't it?
This is red cedar. They're shingles.
Oh, I don't mean so.
No, lovely. We've got all the bits, and also we've got the ridge cappings as well. So, everything. And we had the right result getting this. I'm pleased. Do you think Les will like it?
Yeah, he will.
He does
Well,
himself,
that sounds
doesn't
to
he?
me like... That sounds to me, if he don't, whether he likes it or
You
not.
don't really need to ask him.
No? Good. That's what I like to hear. That cedar roofing really is special. And the fact there are some odd-sized pieces only adds to its rustic charm. And there's no sort of golden rule about fixing them, you know, to make bonds. You can put them up any way you like. They need to be a little bit random and a bit higgledy-piggledy in order to have this wonderful effect. No regimentation to it at all.
A rustic look.
Rustic looks just as well, because we've got a couple of rustic builders here.
Got 'em, mate. We do rustic, don't worry about it.
To continue the natural look, Stella and Les want to clad the summer house walls in shiplap planking, some of which was salvaged from the old garage. Now, some of it is a bit iffy because some of it was rotten, and also because the building's bigger now, we ain't going to have enough.
Right.
But there's a fair proportion of it here. Some of it needs denailing, and we'll cut out the bad stuff. But if I leave you to do that, I'll give you the hammer, and you do the denailing while I'll get on with something else.
Cheers,
you can then work out how much extra you need and go about finding it.
All right, nice
Yeah?
one. Yeah, no problem. See you later.
Denailing the shiplap is a fairly quick and easy job. But after measuring up, Liam calculates we still need 40 square metres to cover the summer house.
I'm on my way to a timber yard, but not only do they sell wood, they sell fencing and sheds and things like that for gardens. So what I'm hoping is they might have some shiplap lying around at the back that I can maybe get and take with me.
This is the shiplap we were talking
And it looks like he might be in luck.
I mean, it's quite badly damaged, isn't it, Stuart?
Yes, it is, yeah.
I mean, I can see you've had that's damage from the strap marks, isn't it? I mean,
Yes, that's right.
I mean, the shiplap's a lot thinner on that edge, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
They've obviously pulled it too tight.
That's right.
I mean, Stuart, is there any chance I could take some of this off your hands? I mean, surely you're just going to chuck that away, aren't you?
Well, I would go through it a little bit and see what I can use from it.
Right.
Obviously, we can have a look through it ourselves, and things I can't use, yes, you're welcome to take it. That's not a problem. That's fine.
Stuart. Thanks, mate. I mean, is there any chance I could maybe take all that?
No. We'll have to look through that.
Really?
No way.
But like, I can see a couple of splits on those back pieces
you might
there.
do too, but we can use a lot of them.
Really?
That's not a problem. No, we can use it. It's when we can't sell this to people.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to remember that timber's natural and it does split. The heat gets on it and it will split.
Look, I'll tell you what. If I get the old saw out and chop these down, would you let me have 40 square metres? Because, I mean, I can see that it's pretty damaged.
I'd like to be here while you're doing it.
That's not a problem at all. No, that's fine.
The shiplap may look in a poor state, but like any good recycler, Liam can see beyond the obvious.
Look at that. You can see the strap has actually tightened itself so much that it's split the thinner parts of the shiplap, which is not a problem for us because when we lap it over, you won't actually see that. It's gone. But again, they can't sell it. So all the more for us.
All Liam has to do is cut off the damaged pieces, and we've got all our shiplap. I don't mean to be rude, Stella, but I have to say to Liam, getting this was a stellar performance. It really was. The only thing is it's a slightly different profile for your existing one.
Yeah.
So what we could do, this is a cunning old trick, right? What we do, we put that on the 3 visual sides, and then we take the old stuff and slap it up the back.
Up the back,
right? And then once it's all coated in the same colour, you'll never know the difference. So
Okay. Well done again.
I think he deserves a pat on the back this time.
Well done, Liam.
You're welcome.
Right. Do you want to get the rest of it off now?
Oh, not again.
Yes. Immediately. We're into the last week of Stella and Les's 5-week build. Harvard and Mick are making steady progress. We're continuing to make great use of recycled materials, from decking that was in the warehouse to a toilet and sink that was saved from a skip, and some slightly damaged plasterboard. There's now just one thing left to source. Well, now, Liam, as we are fast approaching the finishing line with this project, and we've saved them loads of money, I know, and it's looking really great, the one thing I want to deal well with is the flooring. Okay, now I know there's some cheap options, but I want it to be special. I want the flooring to be the pièce de résistance. Now, I've got a couple of contacts that I want you to try and see if you can come up trumps.
Okay, sounds good.
Come and get the numbers. A mate of mine, Ian, runs a quarry and often has lots of offcuts and slightly damaged pieces of stone, taking up valuable storage space.
This is what we call the tip.
The tip?
Yes. This is the graveyard of stone.
That looks like the kind of stuff I'm looking for, actually.
Well, this has been here for quite a while.
Really?
So, yes, absolutely.
So this is quite damaged, isn't it?
It's not damaged as such. What it has is it's got cracks in, so it wasn't suitable for the work that was required in the first place.
Yeah, sure. There's a big crack seam right the way through there.
That's right.
Do you know, Ian, I could actually use this. This is something I'm really interested in, I mean, it is just sitting around doing nothing, is it?
How much are you after?
I need about 20 square metres. What have you got here?
About 20 square metres.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think with these, probably these 3 pallets would suit you for that.
There's a grand's worth of stone there, and although there are plenty of odd-sized and broken pieces, we can easily cut around those. Sometimes it pays to have friends in the right places, but remember, even if you don't know anyone in the trade, your builder will.
Tommy, what do you reckon? This has got to be one of the best finds yet.
Without a doubt, this is absolutely superb. It's what we call in the trade the dog's undercarriage. This is really is marvellous stuff. The beautiful stone floor completes our search for materials. As the build comes to an end, it's all hands on deck to make sure the finishing touches are all in place. 5 weeks ago, Stella and Les's garden was home to a real blot on the landscape. Now, they have a summer house to be proud of. I think this looks absolutely superb.
It's lovely, isn't it? Really
I think it's come out really good. And who would have thought, though, that this decking, remember the state of it, how it would come up looking so good?
I know, it's good. Just a couple of coats of stain.
Yeah, it was actually nicer than having it brand new because it looks slightly weathered in, doesn't it?
Yeah, as if it's always been here.
I'm itching to have a look inside, see what it looks like.
Let's go in.
Shall we go?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is lovely.
This is fantastic.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely, without a doubt, a fantastic transformation. I mean, just think, you remember what it was like before?
I can, yeah. I'm really pleased with it.
Absolutely fabulous.
I mean, I always knew it would be nice, but this is just lovely.
Would you say this is sort of how you dreamt it to be?
Oh, definitely. This is how I would have pictured it if I'd, you know, had all the money to actually do it.
Stella and Les's summer house needed £8,000 worth of materials. So how much have we been able to save? Well, £2,500 worth of free doors and windows was a huge result. And we also salvaged 1,500 quid's worth of shiplap, plywood and decking. Free insulation and roofing membrane was another £450 saving. And Stella and Les got 500 quid's worth of cedar roof tiles for just £100. The salvaged bathroom suite was a £300 saving. Plasterboard and other sundries saved £650. And the icing on the cake was £1,000 worth of freestone flooring. Certain things had to be bought, most notably the 4x2 timber for the structure and the ready-mixed concrete. But overall, we've saved Stella and Les an impressive amount. It came to a total of £6,800.
Really?
That's what we saved you in total.
That's a huge amount.
Yeah. Would you have been able to do this off your own back?
No.
No?
We would have kept the old frame, reclad it, put a door on.
Yeah, but it wouldn't look much different to what
It
it
would
was
have been
originally.
a glorified shed, probably.
Cheers! And now, can I say, I just wish you and all your lovely family a real happy time in this beautiful little colonial summer house.
Thank you.
Your second home in the back garden.
I'll drink to that.